everybody, Josh Jr. here for another rock counting video. This one here is a rebuttal. I was told not too long ago, actually today, in Facebook, that silicon carbide grit does not get used up. So 6090 silicon carbide does not get used up. Well, so there's a barrel that was rolling for 6 days. Here's brand new silicon carbide. Let's go ahead and do something here, because what I want to do is I'm going to strain it out inside this. Now you can see that this does not filter through the screen. Does not filter through it. 6090 does not filter through the screen. You ask, well, why is that important? It's going to be important because when I empty this out, I'm going to empty it through that screen, wash it out, and see how much grit is left over. According to what I was told, that there should be the full 1 1/4 cups of grit left. Interesting. So it's going to take both hands, but I'm going to set you up on a tripod with a different camera, and we're going to film this process so there will not be a break in the action. So I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm all set up here. Get this taken off. And we will see if I'm all ate up on how much grit is left in here. None left. So, do this. Okay. And through no trickery, and I'm sitting here, I'm going to let it drain. Now I'm going to turn on my other camera to let you know there's no trickery going on, so I can run both hands. There, take a picture of it. Let's take a picture of deep inside, and I will include these in the video. Now let's run my hand in here all the way down. You see any grit on my fingers? No, we don't. So let's see how much grit's going to be left over on these. While I'm working on this, I'm actually hoping the person who says that grit doesn't get used up responds back to me in Facebook. Because here's what he says. The grit doesn't disappear. I know several guys who reuse coarse grit several times. It just contains mineral and small stones that I sift. If you pour out sludge when you clean your barrel, strain and dry, you will see your leftover is very abrasive. I may check a week progress, opening up the barrel, release pressure, check a few stones, and check to see if there's a good slurry or not. Quickly seal back up, and only replace the grit only if I remove sludge. Well, you've seen what was in here. Again, that's what's going on. The sheer weight of the rocks rolling against themselves will wear them down. Okay, the rocks rolling against themselves without much protection, what does that do? Let me see here. I bet I've got an example of that in here. There it is. You see that right there? And you see that right there? That's called damage. So if you allow the rocks to roll against each other, what's going to happen? You're going to get cracks. I also know when I roll to stop my tumbler and check the barrel is warm because of friction. Well, duh, that actually happens. So, if you can make sense of all of that, he's basically saying that he rolls his for up to 4 to 6 weeks without on coarse grit, and then he moves it on. Okay, some people that might work. Why, when I can do it in the same thing in 10 days? So, let's remove these. I have to get a colander here. Okay, other camera. And I'm going to film it here so you can see. Where do you see any grit? Explain that one to me. I don't see any grit here at all. And let's pick this up. Let's look at it. So, you know, I generally let people do their own thing when it comes to tumbling. I've kind of quit giving advice. But when I see hypocritical advice given and can debunk things immediately, I'm going to. And for those of you who think, oh, this is too negative a video, I don't want to watch it. Fine, don't watch it. I don't care. But for those of you who are trying to tumble rocks and trying to do some quality work, you've got to pay attention to what's going on. Why keep rolling your rocks in a barrel that has no grit left in it? There is zero reason for it. Okay, let's do a mid-edit edition. Let's find out what size of grit will go through this mesh. And we've already done the 60-90. So we'll go ahead and put some on there anyway. Now we will put a little bit of 120, 220. Let's put that right there. And then we'll put a dab of that on there. Okay, so we're going to find out the size of the grit that will pass through this. Here's the claim. The size of the grit is reduced down in size over time. That I can buy. I can buy that. Because what we'll do, we'll come out here to my driveway. I've quit dumping out here, but there's still some out here. And you can see some sparkling out here. Okay. So that tells me, yes, that there is still grit out there. So, but is still unusable, in my opinion. Because you're going with this gets used up. As you could tell, nothing was left in this strainer. I mean, I haven't even moved it since the last time we did it. Now here's the 69, here's the 12220. There you go. So it goes down to the 12220 is roughly 13 micron. No, that's let me put the micron level down here and below because I can't remember. Then of course this here, this is the 13 micron. Of course this should pass right through. So the person who is arguing with me, his theory is keep rolling it for 6 weeks with the 6090. It will get reduced down, all the way down, and I don't remember what his claim is, if it should be polished when it's done, or you should be able to go straight to polish. Either way, does it make sense to roll for an additional 6 weeks? It doesn't to me. My procedures are a little bit different than most people. I roll mine 5 days coarse grit, 5 days silicon carbide grit, then in the Vibe 3 days pre-polish and 2 days polish. And you know, I don't want people to be sitting there wasting their time. There's new people out there that's starting this, and I don't want them to feel frustrated because they have to wait for 6 weeks to be able to see some results. So I'll give the guy credit, fine, you could do whatever you want to, but I wanted to get this out there to show people that when they hear the theory of rolling it for 6 weeks and nothing but 6090 silicon carbide, that they're wasting time, wear and tear on their machine and electricity, and they're going to be frustrated because they cannot see the results sooner. And to show some of my results, let me see. There's something there. And there's something there. And something there. And let's grab one more. So, I have no problem in basically coming out and doing this rebuttal video to make sure that, okay, let's look at it from a different perspective. So, again, my opinion, after your first cycle of 6090 silicon carbide, for those who's running quality tumblers, it's probably used up, meaning unusable after that. Because to me, I would want to start off after 7 days or 6 days or whatever with better quality fresh grit to start the medium grit process. And this gentleman's opinion, it seems like it's a waste of money to go out and buy this, then go out and buy this other stuff and whatever else you're going to do. It's not his money for him to worry about. Shh, that's a secret. So, there you go, everybody. I'm going to let you go on this one here. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it helps you out with your tumbling process on off of what your expectations are. And yeah. So, I might have proved some of his point, and at the same time I have proved my point, but that's fine. I'm going to close with one thing. Everybody has a different set of procedures, a different recipe for every different type of rock they tumble. I do this petrified wood slightly different than what I do this quartzite. Sometimes I will do different procedures for other things. This is more of the quartzite stuff. I do quartzite and agate very similar to each other. I may do something different for obsidian. Actually, I do a lot different procedures for obsidian. I also have completely separate procedures for Oregon fire opal. I also have different procedures for common opal. Everything of which I am successful in getting a nice mirror finish shine on it. So there you go, everybody. I'm going to let you guys go. Just remember, everyone's life is an adventure. Then there's mine. Oh, what's one other thing? This video is for entertainment purposes only. Hence, Jaws Jr. Entertainment. This is the Adventures of Jaws Jr. Have a good one, everybody. See ya.